going to make a connection with Pumpkin Jack. Tim did what in our story? Tim did what?
Carrying a pumpkin.
He carved a pumpkin. So our connection today is you are going to think about a time where you or someone that you know carved a pumpkin, or maybe someone helped you carve a pumpkin, okay? So be thinking about that as we read our story. Pumpkin Jack, written and illustrated by Will Hubble. I love how quiet my friend Jolynn and Carmen are sitting. When Tim carved his first pumpkin, it was fierce and funny and just perfect. A jack-o'-lantern this good deserved a name, so Tim gave it one. Jack.
Jack.
Like jack-o'-lantern. Yes.
Jack.
And I love how quiet my friend Elena is sitting and my boys in the back. Good job. Long after the best trick-or-treat candy was eaten, Tim still kept Jack. At night, when a candle made Jack's face dance on the wall and filled the dark with warm pumpkin smells, Tim felt Jack was almost magic. Yet, too soon, the spell was broken. I wonder what he means. I bet that's what he means when he says that. Alex, do you have a question? Okay. This pumpkin is beginning to rot, announced Mom. It's time to throw it out. Tim knew it was useless to argue. He carried Jack to the garden, which was filled with the brown ghost of last summer's plants. A dead garden is better than a trash can, thought Tim. Still, it made him sad to leave Jack outside and alone. Now I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to put your hand down and listen, okay? Tim knew it was useless to argue. He carried Jack to the garden, which was filled with the brown ghosts of last summer's plants. What do you think that means? The brown ghosts of last summer's plants. Look at our pictures to help you. Carter? What does that mean? What does he mean? Does he really mean they're brown?
Like the weeds in the garden from the last plant.
Yeah, so like right now I have a tomato plant that's out and it is dying. And so it would be like the brown ghosts of last summer's plants because it is dying. Yes, Jolynn?
My hands are red.
Okay, now I know. Honest, do you have anything else to add? Do you see the brown ghosts of last summer's plants? Does it really mean that there are ghosts in this garden? No, it just means the old plants that are dying now.
My garden, you know, like the leaves that are off the stem? Yeah, they're beginning to rot.
Yeah. Liam?
So rot? Because they're rotting, that means they're a ghost in heaven.
Not really. We just talked about that. Carter just explained it. Just means that they're dead plants.
Yeah.
Whenever chores or play brought Tim to the garden, he looked at Jack. Every time, Jack was different. He became wrinkled and his fierce smile began to look silly. Do you see him? Yeah. Have you guys, raise your hand if you have ever had a pumpkin that you've carved and you've watched it change before. Okay, you can put your hands down. Mold spread over Jack's bright orange skin. As the days turned colder, Jack grew flatter. So he's yes. He's growing flatter because he's getting mushy, because he's rotting. Winter began. Soon Jack was hidden beneath snow. And Tim forgot about him. The cold, heavy jacket days came. Snowman and sliding days, indoor days, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Valentine's. When all these days had passed and the March winds melted the snow, Tim found Jack. So do you see Jack?
It's squished like a pancake.
You can go get a tissue, Carter. Go get a tissue. There wasn't much left. Just a faded and crumpled pumpkin skin, a stem, and a few seeds. Jack's Halloween magic was a distant memory now. Tim scraped a thin blanket of earth over the Goodbye, Jack, he whispered. So now he's covering Jack with some dirt. What do you think's going to happen now? Jolynn?
He's going to grow.
You think he's going to grow again?
Yes. He's going to grow.
Think he's going to grow back? What do you think, Serenity?
She thinks that.
Raise your hand. What do you think, Serenity?
I think that pumpkin, that Jack is going to make another pumpkin.
You think Jack's going to make another pumpkin? Alex, what do you think's going to happen?
I think he's gonna.
Bless you. Only raise your hand if you have an answer, okay? When spring turned barefoot warm, a tiny sprout appeared where Jack had been. Tim found it and guessed what it was.
Pumpkin.
Yes.
A pumpkin. I was actually to be that.
In the days that followed, Tim weeded and watered watched the sprout. Slowly and steadily, the plant changed and grew. It branched and spread a web of vines over the ground. But no pumpkins appeared, Mrs. Hodges' friends.
Mrs. Greenlee's not here, so I'll just take Liam.
Oh, okay.
and She just had to leave.
Okay.
Liam and Alex.
Okay. So now he's watering the plant. The days turned hot. Flowers opened on the plant each morning, yellow stars that twisted shut forever in the afternoon. Still, there were no pumpkins. So what do we have now? Elena? Yeah, the pumpkin blossoms. Honest, has anyone ever ate pumpkin blossoms before? Kind of like fried them like mushrooms? Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah, they are. And what I like is those little pumpkin things, those pumpkin pies, those little pumpkin things, pumpkin bars.
Oh, pumpkin bars, yeah. Finally, Tim found a little green ball growing behind the crumpled blossom. A pumpkin! Tim let out a whoop and ran to show his mom. By August, the plant had spilled onto the lawn. Tim's favorite game became pumpkin hunting. He carefully waited among the leaves, searching for green pumpkins like hidden treasures.
I wish I could play that game.
Honest, will you come sit behind Carbon, please? School began again, and the days cooled. Tim had less time to visit the garden. When he did, Jacob, go back to your seat, please. When he did, the pumpkin plant seemed tired. There were few new leaves, and the old tattered ones no longer hid the fat green pumpkins. Then, one October morning, Tim woke to see frost coating the garden. The frozen plant seemed changed to pale blue glass.
It's not glass.
No, it's not really glass.
It's
It just
just
looks
like
like
glass.
that.
It's
Mhm.
frost.
It is.
Like you're going to froze.
After school, Tim discovered what the frost had done. The pumpkin plant's leaves were as limp as wet paper. It was dying. Tim searched among the withered leaves for the unripe pumpkins. He picked them and put them on the front porch, hoping for one more change.
Those are big pumpkins.
They are.
They were bigger ones than
By Halloween, the pumpkins had ripened to bright orange. There were many, for the plant had been generous. Tim was generous too. He gave away all but one.
Yeah.
Honest?
I grew a pumpkin in when I was like this kind of weather, the skin came off.
Did it? From jack-o'-lantern to seed to pumpkin again, the circle was almost complete. Now it was time for Tim to do his part. He gave his pumpkin a face. It smiled at him in a fierce and funny way. Tim smiled too and said, "Welcome back, Jack."
I thought it was Tim.
Tim is the boy who made Jack. So that is the end of our story.
I like that book.
So now what we need to do is we need to make a connection.
What is it next?
connection is when we think about something that happened in our life or somebody that we know that also happened in a story. That's a text to self connection. So I want you to turn to your partner and tell them a time when you or someone you know have carved a pumpkin.
Or us.
Yeah.
I carved a pumpkin. I carved a pumpkin one time.
Jacob, come join us, please.
When I painted a pumpkin, it just ruined. All the paint fell off when it rained.
Come join us, please. Come talk with Serenity. Hey, switch partners. Tell another partner about a time that you carved a pumpkin. Keely, you can join in with the girls here. Right here.
Okay, someone.
Carter, talk with Jacob.
Yeah, Honest, talk to Hadley, please. Oh,
Or
nope, the boys.
Hadley.
Yeah.
Talk with Owen.
Honest, can you,
Talk with Cameron.
Cameron?
Go, boys. Go, Honest. Cameron, go.
All right, friends, turn and tell a new friend.
Join. Honest. One time I carved a pumpkin and it just, one time I painted a pumpkin and when it rained, all the paint just fell. I painted a pumpkin and guess what? What? All the paint comes off. Paint comes off. Paint was all stick to the skin. The skin came off.
All right, and you are back on your dot in 5, facing forward in 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so it says readers make connections. In our story, Tim carved a jack-o'-lantern. So this says, Tim, have you ever carved or watched someone carve a jack-o'-lantern? Write about it. So here I'm starting to draw, here's Tim, and here's his pumpkin jack. So I was making pumpkin jack. So on yours, you will make pumpkin jack and Tim. And then what do you do in this one?
Write ourselves.
Yourself. So are you going to have Tim in your picture? No. If you carved or helped carve the pumpkin yourself, are you going to have you in there? Yeah. Yeah, because it's your connection.
I carved a pumpkin.
And you can write on the bottom, I carved a pumpkin with Mom, or I carved a pumpkin with Grandma, or I carved a pumpkin with Dad.
Or I carved
Okay?
the pumpkin by myself.
So what are you going to draw a picture of?
Tim first.
Tim first,
Whole name.
And then who are you going to draw here?
Us.
Yes, your connection. If you need help, please raise your hand. If you are wearing the color black, please go ahead and get your paper. If you have your hair pulled up, you may go get, okay? And Owen, you may go get yours.